welcome back. We are heading into the kitchen now with some fall sweet treats. Pastry chef Maria Kemp, owner of Beyond Decadence, joining us with mini Phyllo cinnamon apple bourbon pie bites. Do tell, these sound amazing.
Absolutely. Hey, Paige, good morning. All right, what I've got going on in here in the pan is I've got a little bit of butter here. All the measurements will be on the website. And into that, I'm going to put in the apples, which have already been diced. Peeled, diced, cored, all that good stuff. And then everything just goes in on top of that. Got a little bit of salt. I've got a little bit of cinnamon. Got a little bit of nutmeg. And then brown sugar. And then I'm going to stir this to coat it. And as soon as it starts to boil, we won't have time for it to boil on air today, but as soon as it starts to boil, then you immediately reduce it and let it simmer or stirring occasionally for about 5 to 6 minutes. Now, this is a very small batch, so the bigger batch you have, the longer it takes. But once this is coated, and that's coated pretty well right now, and I do have my burner on, then I could put in the bourbon. And if you don't like the bourbon, you can leave out the bourbon, but I like the bourbon.
Yeah.
So then I just continue to stir it, and then that's when I'm going to let it boil briefly, and then immediately lower the temperature and cover it. Just really watch it, because if you're using a small batch of apples, it does not take long at all. And then once that's been heated up and boiled and reduced, then you put in your cornstarch slurry. It's cornstarch and water, and then you put in your lemon juice. So I'll add those at the very end after I finish cooking this. So once it's all done, then I put it in another little container, and I've got my little spring-loaded scoop. I've got my little Phyllo tart shells, and I've got one in there, a couple in there already. I'm going to pick it up so I don't drop it, and then I will put that on top. And then I've got my pastry bag, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's easier to pick it up. And then just put a little flourish of whipped cream on the top, and then you can sprinkle it with cinnamon to finish the garnish. On the bottom, I have bourbon chocolate chip pecan pie bites. They're in a little Phyllo tart, and they're on the website as well. So just a really simple but cute way to do pumpkin pie with a little bourbon.
What a fun thing, too, because, you know, at Thanksgiving, often you want to try all the desserts, but you don't want a whole piece of a whole something. And that's a great, little bite size. I'm going to ask you 2 quick, maybe dumb questions, but if I'm wondering, somebody at home probably is, too. The type of apple, it says Honeycrisp. Is that important to be specifically Honeycrisp? But what are you looking for specifically? And then the Phyllo shells, can you buy those pre-made, or do you have to make them?
Yeah, the Phyllos, you buy those pre-made. They're by Athens is the name of the company. And they're in the frozen food section in any major grocery store. I have 2 different ones here, ones that are in graham cracker and then ones that are in a regular crust. And the apples, these are just Honeycrisp. They're sweet. They cook well. You might have another flavor that you prefer, but this one I just used Honeycrisp, and it's very aromatic. It doesn't get mushy when you cook it either. That's a very technical term.
Okay, yeah, non-mushy, exactly. All right, Chef, before we let you go, I understand that you have some exciting new news for your website also, plus some things for people to know about Thanksgiving coming up for those of us who would prefer to just buy someone who makes yummier desserts than we ever would at home anyway.
Yep, I'll talk really fast. Yeah, I got featured on Marcus Lemone's. He does The Profit, and he also is the CEO of Camping World on his Instagram Live, and he donated $10,000 to redo my website. So I'm working with a firm out of South Miami, so I'm very excited. So if you don't like my website, it's going to get better. If you like it, then that's good too. And then not doing anything special for Halloween, but my Thanksgiving menu, which will include pies, will be out very soon. So go ahead and subscribe to the mailing list, follow me on social media, and I'll have that email blast and social media blast out in the next few days.
You got it. We will link to that on our website as well, fox46.com. And congratulations. I can't think of anybody more deserving. Very exciting for you. Thank you for the time. It's great to see you as usual.